All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. It's been a busy week. I've been putting out a lot of videos, and it's been a really exciting week. Lots of great knives coming out, and this is one that I have been excited for quite some time. Ever since I heard that Custom Knife Factory was doing an integral construction knife, even when they didn't show pictures of it, I was really excited for it. And my affinity with integral construction, which for those of you that don't know means that this is one solid piece of titanium, no screws holding the body together. But my affinity for integral knives definitely started out with the line steel offerings a few years ago, and I've got videos way back in my playlist on the line steel knives. Still great knives, but I've been very excited to see more advances in the integral construction, especially with bearings, with flippers, and really excited for this knife. Really excited for an integral flipper in general, and Custom Knife Factory is one of the first to market with an integral flipper on bearings. A few other integrals out there on bearings, such as the Microtech Annex. There's also the Reich 1503 and 1503 Plus that are coming to market pretty soon here, and Spyderco Novana, so on and so forth. But anyways, I've been really excited for this knife, and really happy to have picked one up. Really cool knife, guys. Haven't been disappointed with a Custom Knife Factory yet. But anyways, let's get into the normal format here. This is what it ships with. They've actually upgraded their zipper pouches to these newer ones instead of the Velcro pouches. I've got one around here somewhere, but a little cloth, certificate of authenticity as always. So that's what it looks like. Alright, let's jump into the specs. In terms of a size comparison, let's bring out a few of this knife's siblings. The Sukhoi 2.0 and then the Grach. All designed by the same designer, Anton Malyshev. Also goes by Tohus, assuming I'm not butchering any and all of those pronunciations. But spec-wise, we're looking at an overall length of about 8.5 inches or so, blade length of about 3.6 with a cutting length of about 3.5. Blade thickness is 0.154 inches thick, and of course it is a titanium handle, one solid piece of titanium pocket clip. Really cool construction here. And these portions here, they're not inlays, they're part of the titanium, I believe, and they've just kind of milled around and then colored this portion, probably ground out the rest after they anodized it blue. Anyways, again, it is a frame lock, no stainless steel lock insert on this one, as we typically find with Custom Knife Factory knives. However, when speaking to Mike, he did say that they have at least another or maybe more integral construction knives coming from the same designer, and they will have stainless steel lock inserts on the future integral construction knives. So that's really cool, although this one is quite well done. Anyways, I think that's pretty much it for the specs. This one does weigh in at 4.94 ounces. And again, claim to fame, integral construction. It is on bearings, and it does use a flipper. So things that I know a lot of you guys have been waiting for. Now, if you're wondering what the appeal of an integral is, really it's simply just that it's cool. Something to geek out on, harder to manufacture, just really interesting construction methods, and they did a really good job. So anyways, overall impressions, the anticipation for this one was almost tangible. I was really excited to get it, really excited for it to come out. I waited a little while. I know some of you guys got yours a while ago, but I had to move some other pieces around, and then when it went on sale, I was more than happy to buy one. So yeah, a lot of anticipation. Really cool knife. It's a long, slender, kind of dress carry type of knife. The amount of progress that's occurred in the last couple of years is really incredible when we think about, you know, three 2, 3 years ago, 4 years ago. You know, to think that this knife would come out on a production size level and being the price point that it's in, really incredible. So anyways, again, really happy to have it. Great fit and finish, great construction. Again, more of a large, full-size, gentleman style knife. Not really a lot of traction on the knife. It's not a tactical knife for you to, whatever it is you think you do with a tactical knife, but really cool knife, great for EDC. Assuming you can work it into your suit pockets, which are quite flimsy and crappy, it would look good there too. So that's it for my overall impressions. Let's get into the details from here. All right, let's start off with kind of the basics here. I forget these in some of my videos, and if I don't talk about these things, it's because they're spot on and I just don't think about it. First of which, blade centering, perfect. The action, fantastic. So lockup, let's show you there, right about, I don't know, maybe 50%. Still plenty more lock bar that can travel over time. And then look at the really clean construction here on the inside of the handle. If you guys have seen other knives constructed in a similar fashion, again, one solid piece of titanium, the inside is not always done in an incredibly clean fashion. Sometimes there's a lot of chatter from the machining in there. This one looks like it's smoothed out and yeah, just really clean in there, so that's pretty cool. What are some of the other things I forget? So lockup, flipping action is great, centering is perfect. This one is number 46. I don't know how many are being made, but I don't think it's going to be a large number here. So yeah. All right, let's go to the blade then. So really interesting blade shape here. It almost looks like a recurve, but it's not. It simply starts, I don't know, kind of trails up a little bit while you have an interesting kind of hump at the front. It's not quite a swedge, but an interesting blade shape nonetheless. Very functional, done in M390 steel, as you can see right here on the flipper tab. Man, I can't get it to, there we go, M390. So again, they're using premium, they're using super steel. You know, ZT's had quite a bit of problems getting their hands on M390, and perhaps it's all going to China and Russia with all these premium offerings coming out of there. So anyhow, M390, it is done in a hand rub satin finish, which goes with the overall look of the knife. I mean, again, just a very elegant, dressy style knife, so the hand rub works quite well with the overall aesthetic. But it's not a finish that you really want to beat on, and this isn't really a knife that you necessarily want to beat on. So anyways, here's the other side. As you can see, there is the detent track and the detent hole. So that hole right there, that's what the detent ball right here sits in the closed position. So exposed detent track, whatever, doesn't really bother me. It might bother some of you guys, not really a big deal. And then that's where the sharpened portion ends. So almost a forward choil of sorts. I wouldn't use that in a hard use position. Your ability to slide up the blade could occur quite quickly. So anyways, just an interesting design on the blade shape here. But great edge. Yeah, everything's well executed. Flipper tab, there is jimping, and this is, it's not really push down, this is a light switch only, low profile flipper tab there, so no problems whatsoever. Now this, I will need to put some Loctite on this one. I haven't done it yet, but after I was playing with it for quite some time, the blade did come off center a tiny bit, and then I tightened it back down. It perfectly centered again. So you might need to put a little bit of Loctite on this. Hopefully that's not a big deal for the majority of you guys. Anyways, here's the pivot. It's the same pivot that we've found on his other designs. these ones that were polished and anodized blue here. Anyways, so the same pivot style, very consistent with the Anton Malyshev designs. And then it, same color as the handle here. If you get in really close, you can see a little bit of the mill lines, but it's been given almost a light stone wash. Maybe it was a heavy media blast here on these portions. Yeah, a little bit of scalloping here on the back. Not sure that it really adds much in the way of texturing or anything, but it looks cool. Adds a little bit of visual appeal to the nicely contoured and rounded spine of the knife. Now, there's no stainless steel lock insert, but the lock bar was hardened so basically you heat the titanium up really hot, you let it cool, and it helps to harden that surface. And the lockup has no stick whatsoever, no matter how hard you flip it. Some nice cutouts in here so you can get your thumb in pretty well. Easy to disengage. The knife's fun to flip, and doesn't really cause any discomfort on the hand or thumb as you disengage it. So, all right. Here's the pocket clip. One single screw, because as you can see, they milled a pocket into the handle. That way the back of the pocket clip sits in flush in with that hole, and then just one screw to hold it down. So now the pocket clip has actually been improved a little bit over the prior designs. I don't know if you'll be able to see, but there's more of a lip here. If I can get it to focus. There's more of a lip here on the front, right here. And so it goes in and out of a thick pair of jeans a little bit easier than this one does. So improved pocket clip works really well. I like the extra gap here on the lip, as it were. And this one, I've already scuffed it a little bit. I don't know if you'll be able to see that, but I have been carrying it, so pocket clip's getting a little bit of use and abuse. I believe it was bead blasted prior to anodizing. Anyways, cool knife. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to carry this knife and really enjoy it. So, yeah. Great overall design. Nice balance. I guess the hump here at the front of the blade kind of matches the flow at the back of the blade. Really good ergos. Again, it's very comfortable. There's not really much in the way of like traction, so in normal use it's fine. If your hands are like wet or slippery or something, might be a little bit harder to hang on to, but yeah, there it is in my hand. And then there is a generous lanyard hole at the back that just goes through the frame here. So anyways, yeah, so really happy with the way this one turned out. The retail on this thing is about $475. When you look at the price of similar items, the line steel SR1 has pretty much been the first large-scale production knife that was an integral construction. That knife in titanium, which is what this one is in, is $400. If you go for the aluminum SR1s, they're less expensive, but they don't use titanium. So again, keep that in mind when you're comparing prices. So line steel SR1, that's a $400 knife. The SR2, the smaller version, that's a $350 knife. Microtech Annex, that's what, $700? Maybe $650 in the cheapest configuration. Then you start looking at some of the customs, like who is it? Steve Cook, Michael Raymond, Peter Vicenti, Dalibor. If you guys know who these names are, you know that they're integral construction knives, or are if you're maybe $1,000 at the very minimum to start, and then they go up from there. So relative to everything that's out there, $475 is definitely within range. And then they did have a sale, like a sale in January, where everything was 25% off. So I got this thing for I got it for below the $400 mark. So I feel that was a really screaming deal for the materials and the construction, and the fit and the finish. Anyways, you guys might disagree. whatever. There's something out there for everyone. Ton of manufacturers, ton of people putting out extra, really good quality. Everyone's pushing each other to do a better job. So competition is good, it's healthy, and we as the consumer win. So anyways, guys, really cool knife. I'm already excited to see the future builds that they do in the integral fashion here, as well as, you know, whatever else they come out with in the meantime. But I've already heard Mike talk about some of the future projects they're working on for this year. A smaller T90. I have a video on the full-size T90. More integrals. Yeah. Oh, the Tashi Barucha. They're doing a collaboration with Tashi, which I'm super pumped for. I can't wait to see that one. So, anyways, I guess that's pretty much it, guys. Comments or questions, let me know. Thanks as always for watching, and throw me a like if you would. You can also follow me on Instagram, also as Epic Snuggle Bunny, and again, the link to the podcast, you can find that in the About Me page. So, yeah, thanks for watching, guys. See you soon. I still have more videos to do before the end of this week, so keep your eyes peeled, and catch you soon. Bye.